Hey everybody, tax season is here, and although this can be one of the most overwhelming times of the year, it doesn't have to be as long as you are prepared.
Pourquoi est-ce que j'ai attendu si longtemps pour déposer mes impôts?
Ooh, in today's episode of Gunnarolla University, sponsored by H&R Block, I'm going to take you through the basics of doing your taxes in Canada and how you can file them easily from your own home. Just a reminder that a YouTube video does not constitute legal advice, so if you have any questions, make sure to check out the website for the CRA, the Canada Revenue Agency, or speak to a tax professional at H&R Block. Class is in session. So, as you probably know, taxes help to pay for a wide variety of services, and they're one of the greatest necessities and joys of living in a productive society. As an individual, doing your taxes means filling out various forms, namely the T1 General Income Tax and Benefit Return. If you run a corporation, there are other forms to file, but in this video, we're focusing on your personal income taxes. Even if you didn't receive income last year, you should still file a return to get the benefits and credits you're entitled to. After all, it's money back in your pocket. And think of all the things you could do with a return. You could put it toward a vacation. You could go to a fancy restaurant every day for a week. Update your wardrobe. Buy gifts for your friends.
Pikachu onesie.
Or you could put it in the bank and be responsible with your money. The deadline for most Canadians to file their taxes is April 30th. If you're self-employed, your taxes are due no later than June 15th, but if you owe any money, it still has to be paid by April 30th. April 30th, put it in your calendars, because if you owe any money to the government and you're late, there is a late filing fee. 5% of the balance owing plus 1% of the balance owing for each month, up to a maximum of 12 months. If you've repeatedly filed late, the penalties can increase, so it's in your best interest to make sure you file on time. Talking to you, procrastinators. So clearly, now is the best time to start thinking about your taxes. You may decide to file your taxes by yourself if your employment situation is pretty straightforward, you can't afford or don't have access to an accountant, or maybe you just want full control over the entire process, being able to file wherever and whenever you want on the device of your choice. For me, I'm choosing to file by myself online this year because when you're a freelancer, there is a lot of paperwork to sift through, and I want to take my time making sure I understand every step of the process. You can still pick up paper tax forms at any Canada Post office or download them in PDF form. However, most Canadians choose to submit online because it's faster and they can generally get their refund sooner, especially if they've signed up for direct deposit. If you've seen a T1, you know it's not a very friendly form. So a service like H&R Block Online Tax Service helps to make sense of the process and provide support every step of the way. Let's see how it works. When you log on to hrblock.ca, you'll find 3 choices for doing your taxes. Basic filing is free, accurate, safe, and secure. You just need to follow the steps and provide all the necessary information. If you're looking for expanded options like unlimited tech support, the option to import and compare past returns, and a visual summary of your taxes as you're filling them out, the assistance plan is for you. And if you want all that plus audit protection, priority phone support, and to store your taxes in the cloud, choose the protection plan. So before you start filling your taxes, you will need the following: your tax information slips like a T4, T4A, or T3, receipts and forms for claiming deductions on tax credits, and a record of your income and expenses if you're self-employed. All income from every source has to be reported, although there are a few exceptions like lottery winnings, gifts and inheritance, and certain scholarships and bursaries. If you work in the service industry, for example, you'll need to report any tips you've made, so make sure to keep a record. So once you have all of your paperwork in order, it's time to file your taxes. Filling out your taxes with H&R Block Online is simple. Start by filling out your personal information, your mailing address, your residence, and family and marital status. Once you've entered your basic information, follow the steps to fill out your forms. As long as you've gathered all the necessary documents beforehand, this process is easy. If you have any questions at any point, you can click Help for more info. The H&R Block website is a great resource for learning more about what the different forms mean and how to maximize your return. Once you've filled everything out, H&R Block will let you know if you've missed anything and if you'll get a refund amount, or it will let you know if you have an amount owing. For further advice and recommendations, you can purchase an expert review, which is a 20 to 40-minute call with a tax expert, and you don't even have to leave your home. When you're ready to file, you can do it with the click of a button. Wrong button. There we go. The CRA mandates that you keep all of your income tax records. That includes all of your paperwork and receipts for up to 6 years. It's important to keep these things handy in case you get audited somewhere down the line. So collect them and put them in a safe place. So there you have it, a very brief overview of how to file your taxes in Canada. The forms can be overwhelming, and if you're self-employed, the amount of paperwork you have to deal with can be daunting. But as long as you make an effort to stay organized throughout the year and you use a service like H&R Block that makes the entire process much more user-friendly, tax time does not need to be terrible. Terrible. Super big thanks to H&R Block for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to know more about the services that they offer online and in person, visit the link below. In the comments below, let me know which topics you'd like to cover in an upcoming episode of Gunnarolla University. I'll see you next time. À la prochaine.